So I come on here to talk about the new dad experience. So, what can new dads do before their child is delivered? So, right before your child is delivered, like the day that your significant other goes into labor, what are some things that you can possibly do? That's what I want to talk about. So, I'm going to wait for a few people to get in, then I'm going to begin. All right. So, welcome. So, what I want to talk about is the experience I've had and the tips that I have based on the experience I went through when my wife delivered our first child. So one thing my wife did when we realized delivery was imminent, we realized she's gonna drop any day, was we we made a bag full of things, so full of items that we would need for the hospital, and we placed those items right by the front door. Why is this important? I'll tell you why. Reason why this is so important is because you don't know when your wife or your significant other is going to go into labor. You don't know when that water is going to drop. So you have to be ready. You have to be ready. So when my wife, welcome in. So when my wife went into labor, she went into labor, the water broke. What's up, Adrian Rivera? What's going on? So when she went into labor, we had that bag packed right there by the door. So we had to have everything set because in moments like that, you don't know when you don't know when your wife or significant other is going to go into labor. So you want to make sure that you are prepared, well prepared. What's up, everyone? What's up, IU? I hope I'm pronouncing that right. So, like I said, you want to be ready for when your significant other is about to deliver because going into labor for your significant other is a experience that we as men we have nothing to do with it. Like we help out as much as we can, but we don't know the magnitude of what our woman is going through in that moment. So my experience was very hectic. Like when my wife went into labor, like we literally ran out the house. Like it just came out of nowhere. Like she was talking to me about one thing, and then next thing you know, the water broke, and I was like, oh, like my head just like if my head had a swivel, I swear my head would have spun around immediately as soon as she told me that. Like it was one of the scariest moments. Like you're happy in the same time, but you're just like, what am I doing? What am I doing as a man? Because we don't do anything as men when it comes to our women giving birth. Like they're doing most of the work. They're doing most of the work. We're only there to support, speak to the doctor, and basically just be there in the moment. So it was just like one of the scariest. What's up, people? What's up, Adrian, IU, Nicholas? So it was just one of those moments where I was just like, what am I doing as a man? Like I feel like I'm lost. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. And it's normal for all these thoughts to go through your head as a new dad. Don't think it's abnormal for me to be having these kind of thoughts. You are a new father. So you're gonna experience a lot of errors in your way of thinking, and you're gonna understand one day that the mistakes I make now are gonna make me a better man tomorrow. And trust me, you're going to make a lot of mistakes as a new father. Don't feel bad for the mistakes you're gonna make. What's up? What's up? Whoever joined, thank you. Thank you for joining. We're talking about new dadhood, fatherhood. It's a journey, guys. It's scary, but you guys will get through it. Whoever's a new dad in here, congrats. If you've been an experienced dad and you're in here watching, congrats as well. I'm just sharing my experience with you guys to let you guys know some tips on my experience and what I went through. And I remember going to the hospital, right? My wife was in labor. The water broke. We were rushing out. And I remember thinking, all right, this is confirmed. Like, this is really real. Like when your wife's or your significant other's water breaks, a part of your mind as a man, it starts to break as well with that water. Like you say to yourself, man, this is really happening. Like I'm really going to become a new father. Like everything changes from the minute your wife or your significant other their water breaks. Everything changes from that end. And depending on what kind of man you are, you probably start, freaking out. Because that in that moment, everything is changed. You're no longer a single couple or married couple. Now you have an addition coming in that very moment. And it could be very scary. I remember going into the hospital, and here's the thing that I can tell new fathers. Bring certain things to the hospital with you. Do not go to the hospital with nothing. Let me tell you some of the things that I went into the hospital without that I wish I knew before. I wish I would have remembered to bring a blanket. When I tell you the hospital is cold, I genuinely mean meat locker cold. Like that hospital that I went to, I was on this little like small bench because they don't care about the guys. It's not about us. I understand. I was on the little side bench near the hospital bed that my wife occupied, and I remember the temperatures were like freezing. I literally was just laying there like, this is crazy. And of course, they take care of her before, which is understandable. But I wish I would have remembered to bring a blanket. You are going to be very cold. And the other thing about it is you don't know how long you're going to be there for. Your wife or significant other can be in labor for many hours. Many hours. So it's always important to remember to bring things that you can use. Some of the other things, let me see. What other things would I say a new dad should bring to the hospital? Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. If you're a dad, welcome. So some other things that I would say, there's a good amount of things dad should really bring to the hospital. So another thing I would say for a dad to bring to the hospital is a change of clothes. Yes, a change of clothes. So when you're in the hospital, you don't know what errands you're going to have to run. You don't know how long your significant other or your wife is going to be in labor. We have no idea as men. So it's always good to bring a set of clothes that you can change into, just in case, because like I said, you don't know how long your significant other or your wife is going to be in labor. It could be anywhere from 24 hours to 48 hours. You don't know how long she's going to be in labor for. But it's always good to be prepared to have a set of clothes, because you don't want to be caught up in a situation where it's like you're funky. You all you want to do is take a shower, and it's like, man, I got no spare clothes. Now you got to sit there in your funk. That's not cool. That is not cool. Another thing I would say for new dads to bring into the hospital, let me see, because there's some good things you should definitely bring. Bring some slippers. Yes, new dads, trust me when I say, bring some slippers into the hospital. Now, a hospital can be a very disgusting place, I know. So bring some throwaway slippers. Slippers that you can just toss away when you're not using them. Whenever you don't need them anymore, you just throw them away. Bring some slippers because you never know how long, like I said, how long you're going to be in that hospital for while your wife or significant other is about to deliver this baby. You want to make sure you're comfortable. You don't want to be in the hospital, like I said, without spare clothes, slippers, and another thing that I would say to make sure you're bringing is entertainment. Bring some entertainment with you guys. As new fathers, you want to try to stay awake as much as possible because there's going to be times when you will fall asleep. Depending on how long your significant other or your wife is giving birth, you want to make sure you have entertainment. And this entertainment is going to help you stay up. It's going to help you stay awake. Because me, when my wife was giving birth, I'm not going to lie, I fell asleep. I fell asleep. Thankfully, I woke up on time, you know. But you don't want to be in a situation where it's like, man, like I'm so exhausted, I can't take it anymore, and then you fall asleep for a long period of time when you should be up. So this is why I say bring entertainment. Do not neglect that. Always bring entertainment with you. So again, these are the tips I have for new dads, and thank you for everyone who joined my live. We're gonna keep going with it. Peace out.